do you do when you've got very different parenting thoughts about how to control different situations with regard to the children? And this, when you're coming into a step family, has got another dimension to it, because often two parents can have very diametrically held views about what to do about situations. But when you're coming into a step family, you also have the ex-parent who also has had an influence in the way the children behave. And how to coordinate the different regimes in different houses, or even the regime between you and your new partner, is one where you decide with you and your partner, it needs to be you and your partner need to discuss it. If, with the caveat that if it's your partner's children, you need to give slightly more to your partner than to want it all your own way. So if your child is going to be crying all night and it's going to be upsetting your evening, and the parent wants that, you need to have a separate discussion with the parent, possibly at another time when the child isn't crying, to say, well, what do you propose to do about having a reasonable evening together, as opposed to what are we going to do about the crying child? And get them to come up with suggestions about what to do about the situation. If they say, well, I want to spend the whole evening listening to my child crying, well, then you can take a view on that and presumably go out to the wine bar with a friend nearby. There is an exception to that, which of course is when you've got children and they've got children, and there are different house rules that exist in different houses. Well, you know, the children are very used to operating under different rules. They go to granny's house, they go to friend's house where they have different rules for tea, they go to the different parents' houses, they go to school. They don't go to school and help themselves in the biscuit cupboard. So it is entirely possible to have a regime that operates in your house that they can become entirely comfortable with, and a regime that operates at home. The exception to that might be bedtimes, whereas if they're used to going to sleep between 11 and midnight in their own home, and then when they come to your home, you're wanting them to be in bed by 8:30 or 9, then there's going to be a 2 or 3 hour gap where they're not going to be able to go to sleep. Possibly the question is to encourage them how to fill that time usefully without being downstairs interrupting you.